Yes, sir.
We're on?
Yep.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
We're gonna go. Yep. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight.
Get out of the way, dog.
What? Get out of the way, dog. What's cracking, guys? Omar Esop here. In this video today, I'm going to talk about my poverty squat. And in particular, I'm going to tell you 3 big technique changes I've recently made that I feel has helped my low bar squat. As you guys may or may not know, I've only been low bar squatting again the last 10 weeks, right? A whole year I was just focusing on high bar, building that quad strength. So there's been some subtle technique changes I've done these last couple weeks I feel that really made a dramatic improvement. And that's what today's video is on. The number 1 tip I want to talk about has to do with what Johnny Candido said, my buddy Alistair, a faster eccentric, getting that elasticity out of the low bar squat. When I first started doing the low bar squat again, I kind of was testing it. The speed when going down was really slow. It looked something like this. So I'd get underneath, I'd set up, and when I go down, it's like I was reading a novel or something of how long I was taking. I'd be like, okay, it's feeling right. I'm making sure the bar's over the midfoot, everything's good. I'd get down, I'd kind of pause for a second, and then I'd slowly start to accelerate, right? It wasn't a continuous fluid movement, right? There's a lot of elasticity, as I just said before, at the bottom position of the squat. I wasn't taking advantage of that. I was losing all sorts of power out of the bottom. So I'd go down, slow, controlled, right? Like I'm doing a pause, tempo controlled rep, and then think, oh, it's time to accelerate. A lot of that had to do just with the fact I was getting used to doing the low bar squat again. But if you look at Olympic lifters, they do high bar, or a lot of top tier like Malenishev, when he squats, the faster eccentric will help you get out of that hole. So now what I've done is really try and focus on staying tight, and then, you know, accelerating down there and accelerating back up. So if that was before, this is what it now looks like. And I find I have a lot more power. I don't bleed that power. So here, tight, down and back up, right? So before
do that again, not too fast.
Do it again, too damn fast. Right, before it's like kind of like this. Seriously, it would be about a 5-second rep. Then I come back up. There's that breakup, right? Because you go from de-accelerating, you're controlling with gravity, to accelerating, and it'd be this weird, awkward transition. Now, once I'm tight, I'm braced, everything's good. Down and back up. And I've noticed it's made a dramatic improvement. Literally implementing that, I feel, has added a couple pounds to my squat. Now, to complement that, one big thing I was also struggling with when we talk about wearing the belt, it felt way too restrictive on my stomach. Here's what I mean. That bottom position, I was getting folded over, right? So I put on my belt when the weight got heavy. I don't put it too tight, right? It's comfortable. It's kind of like this. There's still a little space, but I could brace up against it. And when I'd get down to the bottom position here, I'd get down, I had to brace my core, but it felt so awkward down here, I would forget, because here, the hip crease right here, right, it's creating a little bit of tightness, some tension, and I'd forget, I would lose, I'd actually stop bracing down here, so I'd be in a relaxed position, just wearing a belt, trying to explode up. And that's just, you know, it's technique, it's reminding myself a couple different things, but really now what I focus on is keeping that brace throughout the movement. So with this faster eccentric, right, going down here, I'm bracing, I brace here, I'm already braced, right? When I go down, I maintain that, because what I do, I think, oh, it's feeling tight, it's feeling uncomfortable, my hips are shooting back, I let go, I lose all that tightness, I lose power at the bottom. So instead now I brace, focus on bracing, down and back up. You'll find, or I have found, that when you brace and you descend and then you're in that bottom position, if you maintain that brace, it'll be easier to explode out of the hole. The final point I want to make, because I don't want to make this too damn long, because we got to squat, has to do with the actual bar on the back. And here's what I mean. Before getting used to the low bar, I'll be honest, it felt uncomfortable on my wrist. And that was a technique error, mainly. It wasn't just mobility, right? So I'd get underneath, and what I would do instead, I'd bend the wrist back essentially like this. You see this right here? So I'd bend it back to try and get lower, right? Elbows would be down, but my shoulder's not rotated. I'm actually just compensating with my wrist. So here, I'd bend it back like this. This is my wrist doing the work instead of my shoulders, right? So I'd get here, I'd go, and then I'd be like this, and I'm like, oh, why does it feel weird when I'm squatting 400 pounds? It's because this is a fucked up position. So what I've done, or what I've been conscious of, is pushing my body into the bar as I squat, and really cranking what I'd say the elbows down, and focusing on keeping the wrist a little more neutral. So it looks more like this. Here, underneath, right? Once I get tight, what I'll make sure I'll do from here, elbows are down, is from here, tilt, so it's down, it's tight, it's against my back. I feel that pressure, and then I can brace, squat, down and back up, one continuous movement. And when the weight gets heavy, one of the cues I give in order not to fold over, right, turn it into a good morning, is to push my body against the bar. So as I'm coming up, what I'm thinking about is pushing back, right, keeping it tight and back. Torso rigidity, which I'll talk about in another video. I just wanted to quickly go over 3 things I felt that has helped my poverty squat, right? Increasing that eccentric at the bottom, going faster at the bottom, getting some of that elasticity that's at the bottom of the squat, right? Learning or relearning to really brace with the core at the bottom, even if it feels uncomfortable. And then 3, a better bar position on my back, better wrist position, tighter and pushing against. This has helped me out. If you guys want to see then the video on programming and accessory movements I've done to help with the low bar squat, make sure to like this video. Thank you for watching. I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace!